She actually got, I think, $102,000 from selling her home. She spent all of that money on attorney fees, all of it, trying to get custody of the 5 children that she doesn't have custody of.
Whoa. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It's Tiara, and for those who are new, welcome. So today we're gonna continue with the Judge Judy series. I know. Who would have guessed it? But it's okay because I'm honestly really feeling the series. I can't even lie. I think the reason I can continue doing these is because one, obviously, it's interesting. It's entertainment. These cases are nuts. But two, it's your guys' comments. I don't know what it is about this series specifically, but I noticed that in the comment section, you guys are really having conversations. It's very analytical, if that makes sense. Like, you guys are giving your input, your take on the case. Even if we don't agree on the case, I really enjoy seeing your perspective. I love reading through your comments, seeing what you guys think, and I just feel like this is like us watching TV together. It's giving sleepover vibes. Let's go in the living room, let's watch TV, kiki together. It's like cozy vibes. And especially with the holidays coming up, the cozy vibes are a must. I'm truly enjoying myself. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, but that's all I'm gonna say for right now. Y'all know I don't like to keep my intros too long, so let's get straight into the video.
Miss Francis, the defendant is your niece?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that she owes you money for a loan, for some school tuition, and also for rent that you were forced to pay on her behalf because you had signed a lease for her and her children to live in an apartment, and she did not pay the rent, so you were forced to. Ms. Wickham says that's absolutely ridiculous. You did, in fact, pay the tuition for her, but the reason you paid the tuition for her is that she was working for you at the time and you couldn't afford to pay her, so that you paid her tuition instead. And with regard to any other money, she said you have some nerve suing her because she actually made a loan to you for $25,000.
Correct.
I'm sorry, y'all. If you're new to this channel, you're gonna know sometimes it takes me a minute to understand what's going on. I feel like that was a lot of information. Here's what I'm getting from this. Auntie is wanting money from her niece because the niece didn't pay the auntie rent and the auntie's on the lease. Therefore, the auntie obviously has to pay because, like, who wants to ruin their credit over something so stupid? So she wants her money, and then she also said that she's paying her niece's tuition. But the niece is like, no, you're only paying my tuition because I'm working for you and you're too broke to pay me, so pay my tuition. That honestly doesn't make sense to me because my thing is like, okay, if you are broke or you don't have the money or you don't have the funds, how are you able to pay for tuition? Like, that doesn't really make sense unless she was working for her and then, like, in the future she paid for the tuition. Because if you have the money for the tuition, then why can't you just pay her? I don't know. I know we're less than a minute in, but I just want to make sure I got all my T's crossed, all my I's dotted, so I'm not confused. Because y'all know how I get.
When did you give her $25,000?
In February of 2007,
Where did you get $25,000 from?
I sold my home and had a large chunk from selling my home.
How much?
How much did I get from the house?
Yes.
$84,000.
I know this is 2007, but that is nuts. A house for $84,000 or 87, whatever it was, $80-something for a house. Sign me up. This economy is crazy. I swear you can literally buy a shack in California and they'll try to charge you $1 million. That's what I'm talking about though. Like, $84,000, I would have been cool, bro. Oh my God. It's okay because I wasn't meant to live in those times. It's all right. It's fine. But it also, if it's 2007, that means that was definitely during like the Great Depression, the Great Recession. That was not the Great Depression. I'm not good at history, but I know that the market crashed then, so everything was down. So I guess that kind of makes sense, but still, this is a steal.
She had helped me out in a legal situation, and as a thank you, I lent her money. She was in a bind financially.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Now I'm going to ask you about it. Tell me about this $25,000. I'm curious.
I have no idea about the $25,000. She's never in her life lent me 5 cents.
Do you have any proof that you gave her $25,000?
I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
I would too.
Okay, I just had to pause because y'all know how they be trying to skim over the paperwork. Like, I'm trying to read too. So we're looking at a check, $27,000. This could be fake. I don't know. The fact that the aunt doesn't even know what she's talking about is a little odd. Like, you're sitting in court saying that she's never paid you. That's really bold. So I almost kind of believe the aunt, like, just based off of that, okay? Like, I don't have any evidence yet, but I don't know. Something's off.
She gave me that money to hold for her because she couldn't trust herself to handle her money. She actually got, I think, $102,000 from selling her home. She spent all of that money on attorney fees, all of it, trying to get custody of the 5 children that she doesn't have custody of.
Whoa. That took a turn. So we're talking about custody, then selling a house, then loaning money, tuition. Oh my gosh. How does somebody have time for all that? Now I'm on the fence about Auntie because first you had no idea what she was talking about. You said she hasn't loaned you 5 cents. So I'm like, all right, if you're able to make a claim like that in court, you must be right, right? But now she's seeing the evidence and now she's talking about she let me hold it. Like she might be right, but guys, I don't know. Like something's just not adding up. She either gave it to you or not. So now that you're admitting it, it's like, okay, Auntie, I was on your side for a little bit, but now I'm skeptical. Now what I do want to know is this whole custody thing, because I feel like if we had a good background on what was going on with them kids, 5 kids at that, we could probably have an idea of what's really going on. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't make any assumptions. What are your thoughts right now? Like, what are you guys thinking? Because at this point, I don't know who to believe.
She's having yet a 6th child.
So what you're telling me is this wasn't money she gave
This
to
was
you.
not money she
This
gave
is money she gave to you to hold for her.
To hold for her.
Did you ever give it back?
Absolutely. Every dime of it, and then some.
Miss Wickham, do you have 5 kids?
I do.
Where are they?
2 of them reside with their father. We have joint custody, and my younger 3 are with their father.
So there are 2 separate fathers?
Correct.
And who is the father of this baby?
The father of my younger 3, my husband.
But you're not living together.
No.
How long haven't you lived together?
Approximately 5 months.
They've never lived together.
Sorry, this is so messy, bro. What threw me off is she said the father of her up-and-coming kid is the same one as the last 3, but you said that the last 3 live with the dad. And now Auntie's saying y'all never live together. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Auntie's cooking right now. Auntie's cooking. The niece is just not making sense to me. I'm sorry. And I want to know why that's the situation. Like, it's not my business. I'm not trying to be in anybody's relationship, okay? That's not my goal here. But I just feel like it'll give me background with this case as far as like her character. You know what I'm saying? If you already had a judge all up in your business with your kids and your husband, maybe you're tripping in this case. Am I wrong for thinking that? Is that wrong? Is that bad?
Where do you spend all your money?
I've been going to school for the last 4 years, and I have 5 kids.
Well, right now you don't have custody of any of your children.
It's only been 5 months prior
That's
to
a
that.
long time not to have custody of your children.
Yes. I do have custody of my older 2,
How old are they?
11 and 10.
They live with their father.
They're with me 42%. With him during the week, me weekends, and half of vacation and Wednesdays.
All right, Miss Francis. I have a feeling there's a lot more going on here that I don't know about. I probably don't care to know about with regard to the facts of
Probably
this
not.
case. Just trying to get a sense of where this $27,000 went.
That makes me feel so much better because I promise y'all, like, I don't want y'all thinking I'm coming on YouTube like, oh my God, their relationship with this and their relationship with that. My big thing, especially with social media, oh guys, I gotta go on another tangent. My thing when it comes to social media is I'm not trying to be in people's business, their relationship business, unless it's like a dating show. Like that's different, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're going on TV telling me about your business. If I'm watching Love is Blind, I'm gonna be in your business. Like what else am I supposed to do? That's literally why I'm investing into the show. But if we're talking about something that has nothing to do with a relationship, it's just none of my business. So it makes me feel better that like Judge Judy's on the same page. Like I'm not really interested in what y'all got going on. It's just to give me a better sense of where this whole money situation is coming. Like we're on the same page. What about y'all?
When she was living in my house when she got her kids back, it was almost 2 years. We fought with CPS to get her children back.
All right, so the children were taken by the state.
Yes, and then she got them back in, I think, July of 2008. And my sister, which is her mother, and I did everything we could to help her, to support her. Her mother finally in September threw her out. She's disrespectful. She's arrogant. Okay.
Okay, this is probably for like my non-nosy people. I'm nosy, but to an extent. I really try to like not be in people's business for real, for real. But y'all know when people are like talking to you and then they start talking about somebody else and all of their business, it makes me so awkward. I didn't ask to be in this. And you could tell Judge Judy is feeling the same thing, like, oh, why are we talking about that? Obviously the case was about the niece, but like too much info.
She was collecting grants from school on a regular basis, and I have the school printout. She had to pay back $3,783 to the school because the foster parent called the school and told them that she had lied.
No, you can't tell me what the foster parent says. She had to pay back $3,780.
Right, and she didn't have it. So she came and asked me if she could borrow it. She asked me, had been asking for about a week. And finally, I just got so fed up, I just said, okay, I'll put it on the credit card, but you're gonna make the payment. she agreed. She says, if I pay them back $3,720, whatever it is, $83 now, in December, on December 31st, I will get $7,200.
You mean from financial aid?
Right, for going to school. So I agreed to do it so she could continue going to school. She wants to be a lawyer, and she's already...
Why do we all have the same reaction? I'm not trying to crush anybody's dreams. I'm not here to do that. I just think it's ironic. We're in court because you're a liar or you didn't pay up, whatever, but like you want to be a lawyer. It's just ironic, okay? So don't be in the comments talking about I'm crushing people's dreams, I'm talking down, yada, yada, yada. It's just ironic.
In my own home, I'm letting her and her 3 children live with me. And she tells me that she's very disrespectful. So I said, call the school. I'm not doing this, Tammy. I'm going to tell them I'm not paying the money. You are on your own. You figure it out.
Did you give her $37.80?
I paid the school tuition back.
Thank you, because I was like, did you pay it or not? At first I'm like, okay, it sounds like you told her you're gonna do it and you didn't do it yet, and then you called the school like, well, actually that doesn't really make sense because if you didn't do it then you wouldn't need to call the school. I just feel like that was a very long-winded answer. I feel like she could have just started off with that, but it's okay, it's all right. We need all the information we can get.
I couldn't live with her anymore, so I said, you gotta go. She left my home. She called me the next day and I said, where did you stay? She said, we slept in the park. Her and her 3 children in the park all night in the cold. It was in December, and it broke my heart. So she went to welfare, and they gave her vouchers to stay in motels, I guess, for a couple of weeks. But she came calling me, pleading again, Laura, please, can you help me? I can't rent an apartment in my name because I have bad credit, but can you please rent an apartment for me? And because Child Protective Services was coming to check on the residents to see that she had sufficient housing for the children. Not for her, Your Honor, but for the children. I did it. I went up to Victorville and I rented an apartment.
Aww. Let me just tell you too, like if you're new, I don't do well when people cry. If you're ever on my channel and somebody's crying and I'm like, I might be laughing, I'm not laughing at their situation. It's just, I don't know what else to do. On another note, I feel like she has a really good heart. She's going back and forth with the needs, like they're not really clicking. So the fact that she did that out of the needs for the kids really does say a lot about her character. I feel like that was the right thing to do. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie. At first, I was like, that's really dumb. Why would you buy her an apartment? She's clearly not up to par for you to be trusting her. But then I had to remember she has kids. So it makes sense. It makes sense. No child deserves to be living out in the cold like that. It's just... The story is starting to add up. First, I was like really confused as to why she would do that in the first place, but I get it. But now it does make me more curious, like as far as the custody thing, was this before the judge granted full custody or half custody, whatever, or if this was after? And I wonder if the custody played a role in this whole situation. I have no idea. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe. I think I'm getting ahead of myself.
Where did you expect her to get money to pay for?
Well, this is what she said. I'm going to get $787 a month from welfare. I'm going to get $1,900 child support from the father of the 2 older kids, and I get $400 and some odd dollars of food stamps every month. I'm going to sell that to my friend Teresa, you know, the food stamps, not feed the kids. Sell the food stamps for cash.
You can do that? I've worked in case management, so I have a good idea of like the food stamps, welfare, government assistance, all that kind of stuff, but I've never heard of people selling their food stamps. So I'm just gonna assume that's illegal. Am I wrong for thinking that it's wrong for her to sell her food stamps? I understand she got bills to pay, but if you're getting child support, welfare, and if she's saying child support was $1,900 and we're talking 2007, her rent is not that much money. I don't believe it. So there should be no reason for her to sell her food stamps. Girl, you got kids to feed.
I said, okay, one more time. So I did that, and that was October 14th, the day that the social worker was coming to check to see if she had sufficient housing for the children. And she came and there was no furniture there, but she saw that it was a nice apartment. And then December 5th, she was arrested again for leaving the children by themselves at 10 o'clock at night while she went to work at a bar from 10 to 2 in the morning.
This is a really tough topic because I really try not to be like, she's a bad mom, he's a bad dad, they're horrible. But just with this information, like, leaving the kids at home by themselves, it's just hard to defend her. The niece is tripping. I understand you got work to do, but it's like, you got kids. The auntie never said that she asked for help with the kids. It just seems more of like a neglecting type of thing. And not only did she get arrested for that, but she said she got arrested again. What was the first time for? That's what I want to know, because I feel like that's important information. At first I was with the auntie, then I got skeptical, and now I'm back with her again because this is just absurd. Once the CPS is involved, girl, what do you want me to say about you? I don't know how to defend Tammy. She on her own for this one.
11 was the oldest, 9. The youngest was 6 months old, an infant. 3 under 3.5 years old.
What does the father do, the father of the 3 youngest children?
Well, he was working at somewhere, but She got him fired. He's not working now. He's taking care of the kids on unemployment, I believe.
Who does he live with?
His sister.
You see the children?
Yes.
See them at your house?
No, we go wherever we have to go to see them. And he's very amenable. We and the kids get along great. They love us.
I'm confused because at first I was like, why don't you just watch kids? But she's saying that the kids are not at her house. So I'm like, is that because the niece doesn't want the kids at her house because of the beef? I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad they have a good relationship with the kids and not too much drama with the dad. I don't know. This is just still not making sense. I feel like there's more between the niece and the auntie that we're not understanding because I'm a little bit confused. Some things are just not picking up. If you guys are getting it and y'all feel like you're on top of it, let me know. Put it in the comments. Y'all do a really good job at that. So I want to read. I want to know, like, what's your thoughts? Am I missing something? Sometimes that happens, but something ain't right.
So she paid rent for a while, and how much rent did she not pay?
In December, she gave them a bad check, so they called me because, of course, I'm the contact, and said that now the rent was $990.
How much rent did you pay in her?
$1,087 and some change.
How many months?
That was in December. Then she paid. She got out of jail and gave the lawyer all the money she was supposed to give me back for the school, the $3,700, and I was upset. But anyway, I had to pay it because it was in my name. So then again in March, she came to my house and says, I don't have the rent. You pretty much have to pay it because it's in your name. So you really don't have much of a choice, Laura, okay? I hated that, but I did it. I mean, it was the truth. It was in my name, so I paid it.
What I can't get over is these food stamps. I know my brain's in the past, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't get over it. She just said rent was, what did she say? Like $1,080 something dollars? Whatever the rent was less than what she was supposedly getting from child support. So why are you selling your food stamps? I mean, she was in jail, so she got the consequences. So I guess I can't really heap on that too much. We're done with that. Auntie's name's on the lease. Niece doesn't want to pay up. Obviously, auntie needs to pay it because that's her credit. I'm finally in tune now with the case. Like, I think I'm aligned. I don't think I'm confused anymore. I hope you're not either.
I lived with my aunt while I was pregnant with my youngest for 9 months.
Oh, okay. She's talking about her youngest, like the one that's not in her stomach. Because I'm like, wait, whoa. How are you living with your aunt for 9 months with your youngest and you're still pregnant? I think she's talking about her youngest that's not in her stomach. That tripped me up. Sorry.
And the agreement was I wanted to finish my last semester at school. She was going to pay my financial aid instead of paying me to work for her.
What kind of work did you do?
Real estate assistant. She's a realtor.
When you were living with her, how much rent did you pay her?
I paid $300 here and there, but she would never take my money.
How much rent did you pay her every month?
We had no.
The answer is nothing. How much did you pay her towards utilities?
I would give her $300. I was working here and there.
How much did you? I thought you were working for her in real estate.
I was, but I also worked as a waitress Friday and Saturday nights.
And how much did you pay her to maintain the food, the house?
I bought my own food and also bought food for her.
Is that right?
No.
Of course not. Nonsense.
Somebody had to say it. You could literally tell when somebody's lying, like she's lying through her teeth. I don't believe her. And if she isn't lying, sorry, I don't know what to say. Because you already have a case. Like, girl, you went to jail more than once because she wasn't taking care of the kids she already had. And she's about to have another one. Not everybody needs to have kids. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like there needs to be a limit. If you know you can't take care of your kids, why are you having more? That's just doing damage to the kids. Like, I think it's selfish. 6 kids is a little excessive. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying for nobody, but she already got cases. She was already a criminal. Okay, wait, no, not a criminal. She already went to jail. CPS already took her kids and she's having another kid. How irresponsible. And you can't even keep up with what you got going on now with your own family, which is crazy. You're burning bridges.
You have to acknowledge at some point that you're doing something wrong. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And one of the things that you're doing wrong is somebody who can't take care of their children doesn't have another one.
I swear, Judge Judy, like, are you listening to me? Is she in here? Is Judge Judy in my house? Because why does she say bar for bar what I just said? We can really just work together. Like, I might as well co-judge, you know what I'm saying? Like, put me up there. I'm glad I'm not the only one because sometimes I be a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. YouTube is different. I know y'all give me grace. You know, maybe not everybody might not agree with like my opinions on the case, but I'm just so glad that I have some kind of like rationale reasoning. Like Judge Judy and I are going like this. We're really locked in for real. So now I feel less crazy for my opinions because the professional thinks the same thing. I don't make the rules.
My aunt told me in an email here if I had another child, and she emailed this to my husband who she dislikes, that if we had another child, she would do everything in her power to make sure none of us ever saw any of our 5 kids again.
I want to tell you something. She's absolutely right.
Dang. That is hard for any mom to hear, I bet. All I'm gonna say is that there are always consequences for your actions, whether they're good or bad. So I'm not gonna speak on that. That was some heavy words, I'm not gonna lie. But it's coming from somewhere.
I don't think that you or your husband, who you don't live with, is an appropriate caretaker for your children. Because your children have been all over the globe. Your children were taken away and were in foster care. They were in your custody. You left them alone. An 11-year-old with a 6-month-old. And where was the father all this time? Where was his head? Because he knows, listen, she can't take care of 5 children, so what are we going to do? We're going to have a 6th. Ridiculous. You got to find some other hobby.
I'm sorry, that was so out of pocket. A hobby is actually wild. She's giving to her straight, like maybe she doesn't have people in her life who tell her what it is. Sometimes having those tough conversations is necessary because it really is a problem. Us watching it, like, come on. Hopefully she really takes this home and ponders on it because you're about to have another kid. So it's like, you can't continue this cycle when you have more kids. Like, you gotta do something about it.
These children have not gotten the childhood that they were entitled to, which was a certain sense of continuity and living in the same place and not living in a park and not living alone and not living without furniture and living with a father and living with a mother and living with an aunt. Come on, grow up. First way to grow up is to acknowledge what you owe, and you owe your aunt $5,000. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
She's just gonna say what you're gonna do and cut that case loose. You're not about to argue with me. It is what it is. It's not gonna be sugar-coated. It's straight by the books. But again, justice was served. That's gonna be the end of today's video. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining, for watching, for tuning in. If you like what you watched, if you like this series, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps your girl out. And again, for anyone who is new to the YouTube crew, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you had a good time. But aside from that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on the flip side. T is out.